Good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in your part of the world. This is King B News and Views with another video. And I am on the justice.gov website. All right. Department of Justice, Office of Public Affairs. And if you go on this website, you're going to find some, you're going to find news that's otherwise you're not going to be able to really find in mainstream, too much in mainstream media. So let's get into this. 2 former Missouri police officers indicted for federal civil rights violations. This article released and published today, July 9th. Let's get into it. So, 2 former Northwoods, Missouri police officers were indicted last week for violating a man's civil rights in 2023. One officer turned himself in yesterday and the other turned himself in today. Samuel Davis and Michael Hill were each indicted in relation to a July 4th, 2023 encounter with the man identified in the indictment as CG after they were called to a Walgreens in Northwoods. Each were indicted on 1 count of conspiracy to intimidate CG in the free exercise and enjoyment of his right to be free from unreasonable seizure and deprivation of rights under color of law. Pardon me. Davis was also indicted on 1 count of engaging in misleading conduct with the intent to hinder, delay, and prevent the communication of information relating to the possible commission of a federal offense, and 1 count of altering records in a federal investigation. Hill was also indicted on 1 count of lying to the FBI. According to the indictment, Hill, who was Davis's supervisor, told Davis to take CG to Kenlock, Missouri. Davis then took CG to a field in Kenlock, and where he struck the handcuffed man with his police baton. To cover up the incident, Davis told a dispatcher that CG was gone before Davis arrived at the Walgreens. Davis also allegedly turned off his body camera. The indictment also alleges Hill lied to FBI agents investigating the incident when he falsely stated that CG asked to go to Kenlock because he had people there. If convicted, Davis and Hill each face a maximum penalty of life in prison for the charges of conspiracy to violate civil rights and deprivation of rights under color of law. Davis also faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison for witness tampering and a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison for destruction of records. Hill faces a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison for lying to the FBI. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark of the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, U.S. Attorney Sailor A. Fleming for the Eastern District of Missouri, and Acting Special Agent in Charge Christopher Crocker of the FBI St. Louis Field Office made the announcement. The FBI St. Louis Field Office in St. Louis County Police Department investigated the case, and that's the article, right? And this look like the 2 devils right here. All right, so let's go ahead and click on this, see what it says. Is it saying the same thing? Probably just saying the same thing, but just to see what they look like, right? So that's Samuel Davis on the left here, all right? Charged 1st-degree assault, armed criminal action, 2nd-degree kidnapping. Michael Hill, that's Michael Hill, and that's what they look like. You see the short little paragraph, not much information, not as much as I just read on the Department of Justice website. All right. There you go. Be back. All right. So one thing I want you to note, I notice here is that when they say color of law, right? See these police departments, these police officers, or policy enforcers, right? They deal with statutes and codes, right? That's what they deal with. Statutes and codes, jurisdiction, right? All have to do with what boils down to is money, right? Okay, but that's what they deal with, statutes and codes. If you believe the lie and you still think that a police officer's job is to protect and serve the community, then that, you know what, I don't know what to tell you, but that simply is just, except for that is not true. All right, their job is to uphold and the statutes and the codes set forth by the United States corporation. They serve the corporation. Their job is not to protect and serve the community, right? Now, I'm going to follow that up by saying this is my opinion, YouTube, okay? But for those of you listening, do your research and look it up. Please do. See what you find. See what you'll find out, right? But you notice it says color of law. Right? Color of law. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Color of law. That's what it says. Color of law is a term that refers to an act done under the appearance of legal authorization when in fact no such right existed. It applies when a person is acting under real or apparent government authority, such as a police officer, and violates the law. For example, an arrest made without probable cause may be an act done under color of law. Right? Read that again. Color of law is a term that refers to an act done under the appearance of legal authorization. Under the appearance, meaning what they're doing is not legal. When in fact no such right existed, it applies when the person is acting under real or apparent government authority, right, such as a police officer, and violates the law. All right. For example, an arrest made without probable cause may be an act done under color of law. And it's important to know what color of law means and to do your research on that. Do your research on color of law. Right? Now, when you look at these cases, a lot of what these crooked police, what they do, they're breaking, that is under color of law. See, well, what happens is this. Many people out there still to this day do not know their rights. And because they're ignorant when it comes to their rights, then simply they just get, they you know, these crooked police officers get away with what they're doing. You see, because ignorance of law is no excuse. Right? Ignorance of law is no excuse. And you got people who have to go to court, they get fined, sit in jail, whatever, simply because they do not know their rights. They're ignorant when it comes to their rights. And this is why you have people who, once they do go to jail, some who've been in jail or prisons, you know, they hit the library and they pick up those law books and they start reading. And yes, there are situations when people have gotten themselves out of prison or out of jail once they learn the law. and was able to use what they've read and what they've learned to their benefit, right? I remember seeing a story about a young man who wound up he was in a situation, sitting in a cell. He studied, he read up on it, he learned the law, got out. I believe he wound up becoming a lawyer. Went after the judge, went after everybody who was responsible for him doing time. So we have to, we focus too much on the distractions when it comes to life, so-called life. And we're ignorant to what we are supposed to know, or what we should know, what we should be focusing on and learning. We need to readjust our focus. Start focusing on the correct things. And we need to learn, because we've been lied to about really everything, mostly everything, right? And there's so much that we do not know. So it's time to get out there and kind of, dig in and just start learning again. Learning what's important so we don't get caught up, all right, with these policy enforcers, right? With these overseers. Same thing, officer, overseer, right? These policy enforcers, right? Who jobs is rooted in the slave patrol. Look it up. Their job is not and never have been to serve and protect the people, the communities. That's not true. Now, that's not to say. Now, you do have some cops who, they believe that and they put that badge on and they want to do good and help the community, right? But how many of those really exist? How many good cops are really out there? There are some, but mostly what you get are devils like the two I've just shown. I mean, if you like me, I'm pretty sure there's plenty. There's a lot of people out there who either experienced or have people close to them, family, loved ones, friends, close friends, who have experienced this type of situation, like this story. All right? I got family who've been through this type of nonsense. All right? And this has been going on for a very long time. Again, this goes all the way back to the slave patrol. Their job has never been to serve and protect the community. It's always been a lie. They serve the corporation. That's what they serve. That's what they serve. As well as these lawyers and judges. There is a difference, right? But that's all I got for you in this video. Again, I could go on about this because there's a lot when it comes to color of law, all right? There's a lot that goes along with this, but I'm reading up and learning myself. This is why I'm talking about it. I'm not just talking. I'm actually digging in and learning learning this knowledge myself, okay? Because we've been lied to about a lot, mostly everything. But this is King B News and Views. Leave your comments down below. Thank you for tuning in. All right, and love yourself unconditionally. Keep your loved ones close. Talk about your plans. Go over your plans. Have meetings. Talk about what's important. Bring up new information that you find. You can share that new information during your meetings. Stay ready. Whatever situation comes your way, you're prepared to deal with that. Protect the women and children always. We have to do a better job protecting our women, our babies, our children. They are and have been under attack. Shout out to all the natural born women out there, by the way. I see your fight. I see your plight. You are, with this, they're trying to replace you, right? Artificial wombs, for example, artificial wombs. That's a completely different video. Artificial wombs, by the way, which is not new, right? Look up the real history of Cabbage Patch Kids. Okay, artificial wombs. Yes, they're trying to replace. That's why I say in every video, shout out to all the natural born women. They're trying to replace women. Again, look up artificial wombs. Look it up. Don't just take my word for it. But this is King B News and Views. Shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to my subscribers. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Click the notification bell to all. A lot of valuable information on this channel. Okay? A lot of valuable information that you can use, that you need to know. That's all I got. To the next video. Peace.